Welcome to the worst writer in the world. Ooh. And this is part 3 of our retelling of the Odyssey by Homer.
Odyssey 3, we're calling this episode.
I'll probably put that in because this is not the first episode, so we don't have to make a good impression on people at this point. All right, so where we left it, Odysseus is telling his story to King Alcinous.
Ooh.
So Odysseus tells him that they went to the land of the Cyclopes, where Odysseus stabbed Poseidon's son in the eye and then taunted him.
Mm.
After which, they've had loads of sea trouble for some mysterious reason. 11 of Odysseus's 12 boats sank when some giants threw rocks at them and all the men died.
Mm.
And of his final ship, half of his men got turned into pigs by Circe, but Odysseus got her to turn them back by sleeping with her.
Mm.
Then they hung out on her island for a year. Finally, Odysseus remembers that he misses home and his wife and asks Circe for advice about how he can get home. And she says they must sail to the underworld and talk to a dead man called Tiresias. He will be able to tell them. Odysseus wakes his men for the next big adventure, and they all leap out of bed excitedly. And in fact, the youngest of his men, Elpenor, leaps out of bed so hard that he breaks his neck and dies. The others leave him there and set off for the underworld. Book 11.
Ooh.
So we followed Circe's complicated instructions and made it to the underworld, go me.
Nice.
And in the underworld, I had to dig a hole, then kill some sheep and make a big pile of blood next to the hole.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, everyone knows that blood attracts 2 things. Number 1, sharks, if you're in the sea, which I wasn't. Number 2, ghosts, if you're in the underworld next to a big hole you just dug, which I was. So a load of ghosts turned up, and I had to stop them drinking the blood, because that was for Tiresias. And the way I stopped them was by guarding it with my big sword. If any ghosts turned up and tried to drink my pile of sheep's blood, I'd stab them to death, stupid ghosts. The first ghost that came out of the hole was Elpenor, who, you might remember, was the guy who fell out of bed and broke his neck.
Yeah.
He was upset because he was too much of a pillock to get out of bed without dying. But also because we'd just left his body on the floor in Circe's house and didn't give him a funeral or anything. So he said, on your way back, please give me a funeral and burn my body. And don't forget to burn my arms, all of my arms, and make a little grave next to the sea. And maybe you could write on it that I died bravely in battle or facing a monster, and not that I was too much of a pillock to get out of bed without dying. I don't think I can lie, said me. You're Odysseus. You're famous for being a massive liar. Yeah, but in this specific circumstance, I think it would be bad. I think it would upset Zeus or something. I'll write on the grave that you were so weak you couldn't even survive getting out of bed. In the end, Elpenor agreed that I was right and that I'm wise and cool and a really good leader. Even if I had so far got more than 90% of my men killed and the rest were only a matter of time. Next, the ghost of my mum turned up, which was a surprise because I thought she was still alive. I wanted to ask her what happened, but Circe had told me not to let the other ghosts drink the blood. So I said, no, Mum, no blood for you. This is for Tiresias, a man I've never met. Now bugger off back to Hades. Eventually, Tiresias turned up and said, Odysseus, there you are. So, it's your first time talking to a ghost in the underworld. I see you've made a pile of blood, and you're protecting it from thirsty ghosts using your sword. That's right. I'll stab any ghost that tries to steal my blood pile. Can't stab any ghost that tries to steal your blood pile, Odysseus. You need to let me drink it so I can speak to you. Aren't you already speaking to me? This doesn't count, because I didn't drink the blood yet. You can only talk to the dead after they drink sheep's blood. It's the rules. Fine, I won't stab you in your ghost chest. Alrighty then, here we go. Slurp, slurp, gobble, gobble. Lovely blood. Okay, Odysseus, what do you want to know?
Yeah.
I want to know how to get home. And you came all the way to the underworld to ask a dead man? Have you never heard of a map? I was hoping for more of a prophecy about how difficult it will be to get home and if there's any pitfalls I should avoid. Like, don't stab Poseidon's son in the eye. He'll get really annoyed and do everything he can to make you miserable and dead, that sort of thing. All right, well, here's how you can get home. The first thing you've got to do is leave the underworld, obviously, and sail your ship to Thrinacia, an island where you'll find cows and sheep. Now, this is awfully important. Those cows and sheep belong to Helios, the sun god, who sees and hears everything. So, whatever you do, don't kill and eat them. Okay. Because I know what you're like, Odysseus. Fine, I won't eat them. And don't let your men eat them. Don't turn your back on them for a moment, because your men will want to eat them and they will eat them. Then another god will be angry and your men will all die and your ship will sink. Right. You might escape, but if you do, you'll arrive home late and exhausted and find your house full of men trying to marry your wife. Typical. And then you'll have to murder them all. And then you'll have to go on another long journey to apologise to Poseidon so he doesn't kill you, spoilers. And this all happens if my men eat some cows on Thrinacia. Yes. So, couldn't I just not go to Thrinacia? Got to go to Thrinacia, Odysseus. If you don't go to Thrinacia, the sun god will be annoyed with you and he'll kill all your men and will make lots of other men try to marry your wife. Thanks, Tiresias. Now listen, if my mum comes back and drinks my pile of blood, will she be able to talk to me too? I have some questions. Yes, any ghost who drinks the blood will be able to speak to you. And, even better, they will only speak the truth. Unlike some massive dirty lie pants we could mention, i.e. you. So I waited, and eventually my mum turned up. I watched her drink blood, that was fun. Then I said, "No, Mum Wiener, tell me how you died. And also, how are my dad and son doing? Are they still kings, or has someone else taken over? And what about Penelope, my wife? Is she still looking after my adult son, or has she married someone else?" My mum said, "Oh, your wife is faithful, still in your house, and all she does is cry because she misses you." That's good. Telemachus is basically in charge, and your dad stays in the countryside and refuses to sleep in a real bed. Instead, he just lies in the ashes of the fire with the slaves. Right. Hang on, slaves have to sleep in the fire? His clothes are rags, and all he does is cry because he misses you. Also good. And I died, not of illness or injury, but because I missed you so much and I cried myself to death. It's what I would have wanted. Excuse me? Oh, nothing. Come here, Mum. Give your darling boy Odysseus a hug. So I tried to hug my mum, but she went straight through me because she was a ghost. But I'm not one to give up, so I tried again. But she went straight through me because she was a ghost. But I'm not one to learn quickly, so I tried a third time. But it turned out she was still a ghost, and so I stopped. "Oh, poor Odysseus," she said. "You are the unluckiest man alive." That's true. Those slaves think they've got it hard, sleeping in the fire and constantly being sent on deadly missions by me. But I'm finding it difficult to get home, and people keep giving me gold. And your men? What about them? Most of them are dead. Oh yeah, that's a downer too. But mostly, I just miss my house. All right, well, I'd better go now. But there's about 50 women here who want to talk to you if you have time.
Wow.
Do they want to kidnap me and marry me? No. Then I'll talk to them. So the women came one by one. The first told me that she'd fallen in love with a river, which sounds like a nice romantic story. But then she got sexually assaulted by Poseidon, who pretended to be the river she was in love with so he could get her pregnant. After hearing that, I felt less bad about stabbing his son in the eye. Then I saw a couple of women who'd had children with Zeus. They didn't say if he'd pretended to be something weird, like a snake or a puddle, to trick them into bed, but I think we can assume. Then I met Epicaste, the mother of Oedipus. She wasn't happy. I think we all know why. Ha ha bonk, your mum. So when I'd spoke to about 1 million women, it was time to chat with some man ghosts. First up, King Agamemnon arrived.
Ooh.
Drank some blood, lucky there was some left, and we did some crying. Finally, I asked him how he died. Did Poseidon get you with a big wave? Or were you killed on land by enemies, wicked, evil enemies? You know, when you were stealing their sheep, invading their land and enslaving their wives like a hero. Agamemnon said, "It was nothing like that. Actually, it was my wife and her boyfriend, Aegisthus. They murdered me in the most dishonourable of ways, at the dinner table. I'll tell you this, no one's ever done anything worse than my wife, Clytemnestra. She's the worst person who's ever lived." How many people did you kill? That's not important. I didn't kill me. My wife, on the other hand, did. She's so evil that she has brought shame on all women, even the good ones. They're all dirty now because my wife is evil. How does that work? It just does, okay. Women are to blame for everything bad. All the war and murder and enslaving. That men do, yes. All that is women's fault. Right, I said, liking the idea that my mistakes weren't my fault, but actually all because of women. You mean like how the Trojan War was all Helen's fault because she went and got herself kidnapped, and so we had to murder loads and loads of people because she's evil? Exactly. So remember this, Odysseus. Never be too nice to your wife, okay? And when you finally arrive home, don't park your boat where people can see it, especially women. Park it behind a rock and sneak in to see what those wicked women are up to, and then murder the bad ones. My mum says Penelope's just been crying for 10 years. She's a good one, that Penelope. But don't trust her and don't be nice to her ever. Okay. So, having given me the excellent advice to blame everything on women, Agamemnon went off to be in a film with some dwarfs or something. Then I spoke to Achilles, who was upset about being dead. Then Ajax, who was annoyed with me because I got some armour he wanted. And then a phantom of Heracles, who said a bunch of things, then stopped. Finally, I went back to my boat and we left the underworld. Fortunately, before someone asked me how often I saw dead people, because I'd have had to answer all the time. Book 12. So, we went back to Circe's house because I'd promised to Elpenor that we wouldn't leave his body rotting on the floor of her guest bedroom. We got him and burned him, and I made a grave that said, "Beloved Elpenor, died stupidly while getting out of bed." Then Circe turned up with a load of her slaves and they gave us food. And I said, "Listen, Circe, I did what you said. I went to the underworld and I found Tiresias, and do you know what he said? He said, don't go to this place you've got to go to, and don't eat some sheep that you're definitely going to eat." And then I had to listen to the stories about 50 women and a misogynist, not to mention how guilty I felt meeting people who are dead because of me. Now, how about you give me some better advice for how to get home? Okay, Odysseus, I'll spoiler the next bit for you. First up, sirens. When you get close to them, you'll need to plug up your sailors' ears with wax so they can't hear them. Otherwise, they'll all get smashed to death on the rocks. You might want to hear the siren song because it totally slaps, but if you do, make your men tie you up first. You really can only enjoy siren song while indulging in a little hardcore sea bondage. After the sirens, you'll have a choice. You can either go through the wandering rocks, huge overhanging rocks that not even birds can fly through without dying.
Wow.
Or, if you think that sounds like a really bad choice, you can take the other way. Is it safer? No. You have to sail between two non-wandering rocks. Sounds better? It isn't, because on one of those rocks lives Scylla, and she's a massive monster with 6 heads and 12 legs. Are you sure she's not just 6 people? Because she sounds like 6 people. She eats fish and dolphin and whales, and when a ship goes past, she grabs 6 men, one with each head, and eats their body and their head and their arms, and then adds their legs to her leg collection, which she keeps in her cave at the top of the rock. So that's pretty bad. But on the other side, by the other rock, is a deadly whirlpool called Charybdis. And if you get too close to that, your whole ship and everyone on it will be sucked down to death. So sail your ship close to Scylla's rock, because it's better to lose 6 men than all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Is there not a third way, where the sea's nice and calm and there aren't man-eating monsters and whirlpools? No. Sail past Scylla, then go to Thrinacia, an island full of sacred cows and sheep that belong to the sun god Helios. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, delicious cows and sheep, we can eat them. I wasn't thinking that. You were. All right, I was. Well, don't eat them. And don't let your men eat them, even though they will eat them and there's nothing you can do to stop them. But make sure they don't eat the cows and sheep, because if they do, Helios will kill all your men and sink your ship. You might escape, but if you do, you'll arrive home late and exhausted and find your house full of men trying to marry your wife. Look, can't we just not go to Thrinacia? It seems like we'd avoid a lot of trouble. No, if you don't go to Thrinacia, a whirlpool will eat you.
Just the same. Who told him this story before? Is it the same
Tiresias.
person,
Basically, Circe sent him to the underworld, an almost impossible journey, to ask Tiresias what he should do. And then when he gets back, she's like, yeah, here's what you should do, and tells him the same thing. So I think she was taking the piss.
Right.
So I told my men the plan, and I stuffed wax in their ears, and they tied me to the mast and whipped me a bit. Well, it's a long journey, whip, whip, whip. Then, when we got close to the island of the Sirens, I heard their voices. Oh, Sir Odysseus, you are so big and good, and you're clever, and win all the jumping competitions. Oh, Sir Odysseus, you've got a much bigger sword than Ajax, and a more beautiful head than Achilles, and better plans than Agamemnon, and not just because all 3 of them are dead. Oh, Sir Odysseus, that wooden horse plan was really cunning and not obvious and stupid. And you've got nice hair and manly legs. Why don't you come here so we can oil you and tell you more about how good you are? Well, I thought, turns out Circe was wrong. These sirens don't sing an enchanted song that lures men to their deaths. They're logical and honest and just want to tell me how big and good I am, which is true. We should go and visit them. I'm feeling a bit dry and could do with being oiled by some hot women. But when I told my men this, they ignored me and tied me up harder and whipped me again, whip, whip, whip. Once we were well past the island, I congratulated my men for passing my little test. But they weren't paying attention because they were all looking at the churning sea and smoke up ahead, and the roar of monsters and the certain death. Don't worry, you lot, I said. We're really good at facing danger. Like with that Cyclops. That was much worse than this, and we got out of that one thanks to my cleverness and cunning. Hooray for me! That Cyclops ate 6 men. I hope you're not taking us past any other monsters that will eat precisely 6 men. Me? No, definitely not. We're just going to sail past that very safe rock over there. The one next to the killer whirlpool. No, the other one, the completely safe one, with no 6-headed monsters in it. So, we sailed by the rock, and as we did, 6 heads peeked out from a cave high up on it, and one of the heads said, "What's this? It looked like a ship full of legs for Scylla's leg collection. Well, I think I'm gonna eat 6 of you now, except for the legs, which I'm gonna put in my leg room. Look at me eating salos and putting their legs in my leg room. But the most important question is, who got the best legs? Now, obviously, Odysseus has the best legs. Everyone says so. I'm famous for it. So I kept quiet and stood behind a box. Those 6 sailors have got pretty good legs. I think I'll eat them. Look at me, Scylla, eating the sailors and leaving their legs so I can put them in my leg room. So Scylla's 6 heads shot down and grabbed my 6 best men and took them back to her cave while they screamed in pain. And then she ate them, except the legs, while they called out my name. It was pretty harrowing, I don't mind telling you. I think those men were calling out my name because they felt sorry for me, having to watch such a horrible thing. I bet they were glad that they were being eaten so they didn't have to watch it. No, pity poor Odysseus. No one has suffered like me. Anyway. Then we went to Thrinacia. I'm sure nothing could go wrong there. But me, clever Odysseus, I told my men not to eat the cows and sheep because they belong to Helios, and if you eat them, Helios kills you immediately. My men said, all right, we definitely won't eat them. And I went for a walk. Then it rained for a month, so we couldn't set sail. And we ran out of food, and my men got hungry, really hungry. So I said, I know how to solve this problem. I'll walk alone to the other side of the island and pray for food. And then I'll have a nap. Don't be eating those cows while I'm gone, will you? I left. While I was gone, Eurylochus said to the other men, I think we should eat those cows. To which the men said, but then Helios will kill us immediately. And Eurylochus said, we're going to die of starvation anyway, and that's a slow, horrible death without honour. If Helios kills us, he'll do it quick and probably dramatically. That sounds better, and we get to eat a load of cows first. The other men agreed, and they all set off to steal and kill the biggest and best cow of Helios's sacred herd. When the sun god saw that his biggest cow had been killed and eaten, he phoned up Zeus and said, Hello, Auntie Zeus, I need you to punish Odysseus' men for me. They ate my cow, and that cow was the one thing that made me happy. Whether I was up in the sky shining or hiding just below the horizon, I would look at my cows and smile. I'm like Orlando Bloom in that respect. Because cows make me smile, and those men have ruined that. Could you smite them for me, please? I don't know. I'm a bit busy pretending to be a puddle to persuade an hot lady to have sex with me. Fine. Then I shall take my light down to Hades and never shine on the living world ever again. Hey, don't do that, Ilias. If there's no light, I won't be able to see which mortals I want to have sex with, which is all of them. I will smite their ship with my massive thunderbolt. I'll smash it to pieces with my magic Zeus stick, and all the men will be dead in the sea, except Odysseus, okay? How do I know this? Calypso told me. She's a god, remember, and big friends with Hermes, not the pig, so actually it makes perfect sense that I know what Zeus said to Helios, so shut up, I'm not making this whole story up, it's all true. Anyway, back with Odysseus, or Amesius, as I like to call me, and do Amesius. I returned to my men, who were eating the cows I'd expressly told them not to eat. I told them they were wazzocks, but that didn't bring the cows back to life. Then the gods sent signs that they were angry. The hides of the animals started to twitch, and the meat started going moo. The cooked steak went moo. It's enough to put you right off your dinner. Except for my men, it didn't, because they kept eating beef for 6 days, even though it was mooing at them. On the 7th day, the wind finally died down, so we set sail and immediately got hit by a storm that sank the boat and killed all my men. Who could have seen that coming? I survived by holding onto a bit of wood, something none of my men thought of doing, because they weren't strategic geniuses like big and good Odysseus. The winds carried me back to Charybdis, the man-eating whirlpool, and I almost got eaten, except I grabbed onto a tree that was growing on the rock next to her while she swallowed the bit of wood I'd been holding onto. I held onto the tree until she spat the wood back out again, then I jumped down onto it and floated away. Clever. I held onto that bit of wood for 9 days, and on the 10th I reached the island of Calypso, which is where this story started. And that's the end of Odysseus's tale of how he ended up stuck on the island of Calypso. Book 13. Odysseus finishes his story, and King Alcinous is so impressed he gives Odysseus a magic ship and loads of presents.
Yeah.
And these presents are from all the rich nobles who are at the feast. Like, King Alcinous decrees that everyone must give Odysseus presents. But he also says, we'll tax the normies to pay for it so we don't have to suffer with slightly less gold in our houses.
Amazing.
Thanks, everyone, says Odysseus. You've granted my one wish, the single thing that I want out of life, to go home with loads of presents. I do hope my wife is still crying about me and not marrying those men that are living in my house and eating my sheep every day. No, why do they keep eating my sheep? Poor John the sheep, being eaten every day by loads of men. He must be exhausted. What's that? Oh, plural sheep. Yes, that makes more sense. Then, after another feast and a lot more wine, Odysseus leaves the palace, walking big and strong and oiled and godlike in his physique, while 3 slave girls follow, carrying all his heavy metal presents and food for him. Odysseus gets on the boat and immediately falls asleep. Meanwhile, all the men in the boat row him at super speed back to Ithaca, where they pick him up, still sleeping, and dump him on the beach with all his heavy presents. Meanwhile, Poseidon is annoyed at the Phaeacians for helping Odysseus, who, let's not forget, blinded Poseidon's big son for no reason at all, just because Poseidon's big son ate a few of Odysseus's men and said he was going to eat Odysseus. So, Poseidon goes to Zeus and says, I'm proper miffed at those Phaeacians always helping travellers get home while I'm trying to cause them trouble. Do you mind if I smash their ship to pieces on its way back? Hey, I don't care what you do. I'm fucking Zeus, okay? I'm a bit busy trying to trick this donkey into having sex with me. Hey, hot donkey, you want to get jiggy on my trouser piggy? I'm also going to hide their city in a mountain, if that's okay. And Zeus, of course, says, sure, whatever, I'm fucking Zeus, okay? But, have a bit of style about it. You're a god, you know, not a fucking bull. If I was, you'd be trying to have sex with me. That's how you know. So don't just smash the ship. Do something scarier. Wait until all the Phaeacians are watching it sail back, then turn it to fucking stun. So he does. And the Phaeacians say, damn, we always knew this exact thing would happen eventually. And you know what'll happen next? Poseidon will surround our city with a mountain. We'd better stop helping travellers get home and just be less nice generally. Meanwhile, Odysseus wakes up alone on the beach with only his gold for company. And he doesn't recognise where he is. He's been away too long. Where am I now? Are the people here nice or nasty? And what about my treasure? People will steal it. Oh, poor me and my poor treasure. Then, a hot young shepherd approaches. Hello, completely normal shepherd boy. It's nice to meet your totally normal self. Please can you tell me where I am and not steal my treasure, thank you very much. And the shepherd boy says, well, you'll like it here. It's small and rubbish and wet, but you can grow corn and wine. Wine trees? Lots of wine trees, yes. Okay, I'll give you 3 guesses where you are. Can't you just tell me? No, 3 guesses, but I'll give you a clue. It starts with I and ends with Ithaca. Ithaca? That's correct. Have you heard of it? Odysseus is ecstatic to be home after 10 years, but rather than say that, he decides to do a massive lie instead. Ithaca? Oh, yeah, I think I've heard of it, maybe. I'm from Crete, and I have a load of children there, and I'm a murderer and a thief and a pirate, but, like, in a good way. And I ended up here by accident because of wind, and the boat that brought me here must have left while I was sleeping. Nice of them to unload my treasure, though. My name's Odyssey not. No, that's not very convincing. My name's Alan Beach Trousers. Alan Beach Trousers. From, where did I say I was from? Crete. That's right, Alan Beach Trousers from Crete. Nice to meet you. What's your name? You really are very good at lying, aren't you? Yes. You love lying so much you even do it in your own land to a complete stranger for no reason at all. That's what I call commitment. But how did you see through my ironclad story? Because...
What does it say? Does it ever explain why he's a massive liar?
No, that's his whole
just
character.
His thing.
That's his entire character, yeah. He just loves lying.
Does he arc and learn not to lie?
No, he has no arc. His arc is get home, murder people.
Fair enough. So that's realistic. I mean, like, because it's only in movies, though. Yeah.
Yeah. But how did you see through my ironclad story? Because I'm not really a lowly shepherd, as you thought. I did think that. I am Athena, who came out of Zeus's head. Through all your difficulties, I have been beside you. Right, well, thanks for all the help. And now I am here to help you again. Oh, helpful Athena, we'll hide the gold, then make a clever plan. They did do.
I suppose we can't blame Odysseus for being a massive liar if they're like they're kind of like role models, or all these gods who are just liars as well.
Absolutely. No, yeah, he's doing what literally all the gods do. Listen up, girlfriend. Your house is full of suitors who want to murder you. So you can't just walk in there and say, "Hello everyone, it's me, Odysseus." You need to be more cunning. Now, you're the master of strategy, plots, and deceit. So, what do you think? I could wear a wig? Brilliant, but better idea. I'm a god, right? And I can do magic. So, why don't I make you look like a shriveled up old man so no one will recognize you? Not even your wife. And my son? He's in Sparta trying to find out if you're dead or not. Couldn't you have told him? Gods don't like to interfere in the affairs of mortal men. Agree to disagree?
Yeah.
You go and sort out your home situation. I'll go to Sparta and get your son. Book 14. Disguised as an elderly beggar, Odysseus makes his way across his land to find his favourite slave, who is a noble swineherd called Eumaeus.
And do we sorry, just to question this, why is he disguised as a shriveled old man again? Just because, since he is the king and
loves lying. There's two reasons. Right. One, he fucking loves lying, but also Athena's all like, you can't just walk in to the house with all those men there because they'll murder you.
Oh,
so better that I make you look like a shriveled up old beggar, and then you can have fun lying.
But we've learned that they won't do that because they didn't do that to his son, right? They waited for him to go away and then decided to murder him and then went behind a rock in a boat.
Also, they won't do that when he does say, "Hello, I'm Odysseus" in a while.
Oh, right. Okay.
Basically, Odysseus loves lying, including, and if not especially, to members of his own family.
Yeah.
And so this is just another opportunity for him to mess about and lie.
Okay.
All right. While Odysseus has been away, the suitors have been eating his man pigs, because everyone knows that man pigs are tastiest. So Odysseus discovers that he's only got 360 man pigs left. Oh, pity poor Odysseus with his tiny number of man pigs. Then he gets attacked by his own guard dogs, but Eumaeus, the pig slave, stops the dogs by throwing rocks at them. Take that, you naughty dogs! Ooh, you dirty dogs! I'll shoot them later. With arrows, obviously. It's the Bronze Age. We don't have guns. Hey, you! Poor stranger I've never met before. My dog's almost murdered you. Imagine how bad that would have been. For me! Ooh, I'm already miserable because the man who owns me, my enslaver, is lost and starving and probably in a land where they speak weird foreign languages, so he can't even ask them where they keep their pop records. And he's probably too dead to talk about pop records. Eumaeus takes Odysseus into his shack, makes him comfortable, and gives him food and wine. I don't have much, but I'll happily share it. Being a slave is rubbish. When your owners are young, I wish my real owner was here. He would have given me a house and a garden and a hot wife and a silver toothpick. But he's dead, and it's all that Helen's fault, bloody women. Then the swineherd kindly and generously goes and murders 2 piglets.
Oh.
And side note, while doing this, I finally, for the first time in my life, learned what a suckling pig is. Right? I've heard that term my whole life, and just kind of, I think when I was a kid, I kind of decided it didn't matter and that I'd ignore it, and it was just some kind of meat that people didn't eat anymore that you see in old TV shows or in period dramas or whatever.
Right.
And I kind of never thought about it. And then suddenly I was like, oh, suckling. I know what the word suckling means.
Yeah.
And I know what the word pig means. So actually, if I had spent any time at all thinking about it, I can work this out. So I double checked. And yeah, apparently a suckling pig is a pig under 2 months raised on its mother's milk. Probably could have worked that out if I'd thought about it at any point.
I'd never thought about it either until you said it then, and then I immediately knew what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of the same thing, because he actually talks about murdering piglets. Yeah. And then you go, oh yeah, suckling pig. That's what that means.
I think I'd always thought that it was just like a really tasty, small, kind of like, glazed pig that you suck on or something.
I think I kind of vaguely thought it was to do with how you cooked it rather than, like roast pig. But I absolutely did not think about it, because obviously we know what suckling means. So it's really easy to work that out.
Yeah, so they just grab it off its mother's teat and cook it.
Yeah, nice. Ooh, those awful suitors, always eating the best massive man-pigs. My wonderful kind master was so rich, like richer than the next 20 rich blokes combined. And I, a slave, think that was a good thing. He had loads of sheep and cows and goats and pigs, but now he's got slightly fewer sheep and cows and goats and pigs. Oh, pity poor Odysseus, who's definitely not me, but an entirely different man. Pity poor Odysseus, who's probably dead somewhere up a tree. He's not, I reckon he'll be back today. No, he's dead with birds eating him. I miss him more than my own parents, back in my distant native land that I was kidnapped from and enslaved. I love him like a brother. But a brother who kidnaps you, takes you to another country and keeps you as a slave. He's not dead. He'll be back today, or at least this month. I wish I could believe you, but poor people aren't to be trusted. You're all liars and cheats. You'll say anything to get clothes and food so you won't die. No honour. My master, on the other hand, who's rich and already has everything, never tells lies. That's true, said Odysseus, the famous liar who was currently lying. I wish I could believe you, for the sake of his crying wife Penelope, and his weird dad Laertes, and his son Telemachus, who, thanks to the gods, grew up like a tree. A sexy tree? A very sexy tree, but a thick old tree, tall and sexy but stupid. He's gone on holiday to Pylos to see if his dad's there, and when he gets back, the wicked suitors are going to murder him. Anyway, enough about me. Tell me your story, old man. How is it you come to be here in Ithaca? I assume you didn't walk over the ocean. So Odysseus makes up a long, complicated story for no obvious reason other than he loves lying, and because it gives him the chance to say he once met Odysseus, and Odysseus was hella cool. there's a few times where, like, Odysseus absolutely tells a story and it goes on for pages. Like, you get the full story, and I just haven't included them because it's like him just saying, I'm from this place, and this is the name of my dad, and I got here on this boat. It's so boring. So I just left that out. But just imagine Odysseus actually did just tell a really long, complicated story that was 100% made up on the spot for no reason at all. They murder a pig for dinner, and Eumaeus gives Odysseus his bed and goes to sleep outside in the mud. Because you got to be hospitable, or Zeus will get annoyed and come and have sex with you. Book 15. Cut 2. Telemachus, who is staying with King Menelaus. You may remember from several books ago. Athena tells Telemachus that he should be more worried about his mum marrying someone else and giving them all his stuff. So he starts the long process of packing up to leave and go home. Gifts, feast, horses, luggage, long speeches. As they're getting ready, they see an eagle fly past with a goose in its mouth and decide that it's a sign from the gods that Odysseus is fine and probably back home by now. Because anytime you see a bird, it means Odysseus is safe and fine and alive and probably home. They drop Pisistratus off on the way, but Telemachus has to hide from Nestor, or Nestor will make him stay for a month. It's like basically said. He doesn't want to go and say hello to Nestor because he'll make him stick around for ages, and he wants to get home, please. They stop off again in Pylos, where a murderer comes up to them and says, "Hello, I'm a murderer, and I'm on the run. Can I come on your ship so the rasers don't find me?" And Telemachus says, "Sure, mate, the more murderers the merrier. Climb aboard." Meanwhile, Odysseus is testing Eumaeus, despite the fact Eumaeus has been kind and generous and spent all his time banging on about how great Odysseus is. Odysseus says, "Tomorrow I'll go up to the town to beg, and I'll go find those suitors and work as a servant for them. I'm really good at, like, knitting and making sandwiches and giving people sandwiches. They'll love me." Eumaeus says, "No, they'll murder you immediately for being old and rubbish. All their servants are hot young men. They don't want a dirty, beardy type giving them sandwiches." Odysseus says, "Well done, you have passed. Thank you for the advice, it wasn't a test." Maybe you could tell me about my parents. Odysseus's parents. How dead are they? Eumaeus says, "His mum died of sadness, and his dad spends every day praying for death because of his sadness. I'll tell you what, when Odysseus gets back, he should go straight and see his dad and not mess about pretending to be a beggar or something." Then Eumaeus tells Odysseus the story of how he got enslaved as a child and sold to Odysseus's dad. And Odysseus says, "Yeah, you've had it tough, but not as tough as me." Meanwhile, Telemachus arrives back in Ithaca. The murderer who he let on board, whose name is Theoclymenus, says, "Oh, sir, what about me? Where should I go?" And Telemachus says, "Well, you can't go to my house. It's full of men trying to marry my mum." Then a hawk flies past carrying a pigeon, and Theoclymenus says, "That means your dad's fine and you'll be kings forever." Telemachus promises to give Theoclymenus loads of gifts if that comes true. So he just has to wait forever to find out, and then he can get all those gifts. And Telemachus tells one of his men to take Theoclymenus home and look after him. Then Telemachus decides he's been away for a while, he just got back, he better go and visit his swine herds. Book 16. So Telemachus goes to Eumaeus, the swineherd's hut, where Eumaeus is mixing some wine and sitting around with Odysseus, who, let's not forget, is disguised as a beggar.
Right, yes.
Eumaeus, the swineherd, greets Telemachus like a long-lost son, kissing and hugging him as though he hasn't seen him for 10 years. While Odysseus, who really is Telemachus' father and hasn't seen him for 20 years, keeps quiet because he's all about the japes and he's just enjoying pretending to be a beggar too much to let anything as trivial as meeting your son who you haven't seen for 2 decades get in the way.
Is it possible he doesn't know it's him, doesn't recognise him, because he's expecting to see like a 2-year-old or
Baby.
something?
Yeah. Telemachus asks, "Did my mum marry those 100 men?" And Eumaeus says, "Don't worry, she's still in the house crying all the time." Telemachus is upset because he wants to welcome and care for the travelling tramp, but his house is full of men and he's too young to beat them all up. Odysseus gets annoyed and says, "I wish I were Odysseus so I could murder them all." Telemachus sends Eumaeus to tell his mum that he's home safe. He can't do it himself because his house is full of men who want to murder him. He says he wishes his father were there to give his mother the message and also murder all those men in his house. Odysseus still says nothing. He loves playing dress-up too much. He loves it so much, in fact, Athena has to appear and tell him to stop. She turns him back into tall, hot Odysseus and says that he and Telemachus need to make a plan to murder all those men in his house.
Does she do that in front of Telemachus?
Yeah, Telemachus now knows that his father, that Odysseus' father, but only because Athena made him tell the truth. Otherwise, he'd have just carried on. Odysseus and Telemachus are finally reunited, and they weep bitterly because the 3 main things heroic men do is drink wine, murder, and cry. Then they plan. Odysseus says he's going to go to the house disguised as a beggar again. And Telemachus needs to go hide all the weapons except for a couple of them. Telemachus says, "But Dad, there's like 100 men up there and they're all big and strong and hard." "Don't worry, Athena and Zeus will help us to murder them all. By the way, don't tell anyone I'm back. I want to keep this jape going as long as possible." Meanwhile, the suitors hear that Telemachus is home, and they're really annoyed that they failed to murder him, so they plan to murder him again, but harder this time. Book 17. Telemachus goes and gets Theoclymenus, that murderer they picked up earlier, who is also psychic, and returns home where they have a bath. He tells his mother that he learned that Odysseus is stuck with Calypso. But Theoclymenus says, "Oh, sir, actually, he's here in Ithaca. I saw a sign probably involving birds. You don't have to thank me. Not being put in prison for being a murderer is its own reward." Meanwhile, Odysseus and Eumaeus make their way up to the palace, and on the way, they bump into a goat herd who spends a few verses insulting them and Telemachus. I'm sure that won't come back to bite him later. They make it to the palace where they see all the suitors feasting. And Odysseus sees his old dog sitting in a pile of dung because no one's been looking after it. The dog looks at Odysseus, who he hasn't seen for 20 years, and abruptly dies. It's so weird, but that's what happens. There's not even a moment where they get to be like, "Oh, dog," it's just immediately looks at him and dies. And then we move on. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Worst Writer in the World. If you would like to listen to the rest of the Odyssey right now, then go to patreon.com/manbycow and join for just $2 and get it immediately, as well as lots of other stuff. Bye-bye, milk.
Writer in the world.